going on, everybody? This is James Grandmaster Facts Voice. You are here for another episode of the Facts Project today. Very first time on the program, Adam Downing with Breakthrough Comics, Resolve Comics. We are here to talk about Super Dangerous issues 1 and 2, now live on Kickstarter. Thank you for being here, bro.
Thank you for having me, man.
Word. So, to get right into it, like for one, this isn't your first go round. I see you have multiple titles here, but we're here to talk about a particular character that you created by the
Right.
name of Jah Sanders in Super Dangerous. Now, what basically brought on the origin of this character?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Ja is, at his core is a power fantasy for me. I think he is like everything that I would have wanted to see in like a superhero or like, cartoon anime when I was coming up. So I think, yeah, and his story, especially with Super Dangerous, I mean the entire series is just it's kind of like a roller coaster. It's just like a really fun high pace sort of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's what I would have wanted to see when I was a kid.
But ultimately, like from just reading these first two issues, you come to find out that particularly how you wrote it, there is a an instrumentation about power and how it is not only a blessing but a curse.
Right,
To where Job first formally, no, he's a teenager, so he's very naive to basically what's happened to him.
right,
But also in the sense to where when power comes amongst them, he does exactly the things that you think a regular superhero would do. And then comes the repercussions of that. So
exactly.
like yeah, I like how basically like you gave him like the foregone conclusion of knowing exactly what to do if you came into a lot of power,
Right.
whether it was world peace, environmental change, reparations, uh the I'm going to say the destruction of international wars,
Right.
but ultimately that's almost like breaking a code.
Yeah. And you see the consequences of that when he kind of tries to topple over the powers that may be that were already in place. Right.
Right.
So
Now, how did that come about? Because ultimately, like you see superheroes and they'll go through their their everyday issues of just dealing with like one problem at a time. Jah tries to solve everything
right.
all at once.
Yeah. I mean, he's a kid with quite literally all the power in the world. So he kind of just he does what he wants at this point. Nobody can really put him in his place at this point in time. So yeah, he really just does what he wants. And
Right.
like we said, like that is a blessing, and you see how it's such a blessing at first, but once again, like you do what you want, then you got to accept the consequences that comes with that. And I
That's
think
true.
you really kind of see that shine through in issue number two, right?
Yeah, because it's kind of like you almost asked the question exactly what are the repercussions to saving the world?
Yeah, yeah,
And that seems to be like a big problem on his hands. But then what is it that of course he's doing all these things and he's not looking for accolades or anything like that, but he just wants to, he feels as though he's best serving if he's doing things in a super heroic way in order to spare humanity. But then what is humanity's fear and power? What's your opinion on that?
I think he's doing what he thinks is right, but I mean, you're touching on exactly what he's gonna have to deal with a lot throughout this series, which is humanity's reaction to his power. He is like he is the most powerful being on Earth, and like there's no weapons that can really be used to keep him in check. So he could impose his will on this planet if he wanted to. You know what I mean?
Word.
Um, and I think you're just gonna get a lot of fear mongering. You get a lot of like apprehension towards him, and people are gonna fear him, and he's gonna have to deal with that isolation.
Yeah, no, I see that totally. And even in the fact of the obtaining of this cursed blade,
Yeah.
we get met with a almost an entity that pretty much follows him with Zila, the Queen of Chaos. Now, what exactly would you say is her, I guess, her correlation to the story?
Her correlation to the story. Okay. How do I not spoil it?
Okay.
She's actually fuck it. You know what? Whatever. Um, she is she is like a representative. I don't know how to articulate this. She's like a representation of like the balance. There's two different types of magic. Like she kind of is the queen of like the darker, more abrasive, more aggressive type of magic called chaos. And then there's like
Mhm.
another. Chaos is like her type of magic is it's easier to master. It's a little it can be very corrosive too, but it's easier to master. But there is kind of a cap on like the power that you can output. There's a
Mhm.
different type of magic that's more like her magic is based in anger. The other type of magic is kind of based in love. That one is a lot harder to master, but the power cap is like way higher. So,
Right.
and there's usually like a balance, right? So Zila is kind of like after Zila got taken out, I, I'm sorry, I don't know how to like
Mhm.
navigate storylines. I'm trying to like bring forth. Um, I'll say she's like she came on the scene when there wasn't a lot of chaos in the world, and she kind of came on the scene with like a ton of power to kind of balance that out,
Mhm.
and wars were fought, and she got sealed away, and it kind of happened again. So like without trying to say like there's a somebody else maybe popping up who's kind of similar to her, and that's gonna be like a whole thing. So
Yeah, because you come to find out that pretty much the cursed blade is kind of like with her.
right,
It's like a genie in a lamp.
yes,
You know, she's just like the harbinger for of course what you call is chaos magic. But the thing is the structural, I guess, power structure of that blade is pretty much totally defined by her.
right,
Jai's pretty much new to this.
yes,
So he has, when he sees her, he has tons of questions. Of course, she even has tons of questions because she has no idea, like she has no idea that there's no magic on Earth,
yeah.
that it's not even being taught. That in every other world that she's been in, there's always been sight of magic, but yet in this place, it doesn't even really exist. Or better yet, it's the way that Jah describes it is like magic is just like like kid shit.
She's been in
So
solitary for like thousands of years at this point. You know what I mean?
right. And the thing is, it's funny because she's never encountered Earth before, which I find as far as like her being an entity, as far as like meeting Jah for the very first time, and then all of a sudden like learning about human beings, and then being dumbfounded by like there's nothing here. So like, what do I do, giving somebody of this minuscule type of planet this much power?
Word. I would just like a small correction. She is from Earth. She's just from like way back in the
Okay,
past.
got you.
So
Got
she
you.
got sealed away. She was, been in like solitary for like thousands of years. And like while she was gone, on the surface, magic is pretty much like
So she's
disappeared.
predated power. Like there was magic on Earth before she arrived. She okay, so that's why she's like confused by it because she's like, where's it at?
Yes. Yeah. She's like, there's
Got you.
nobody's practicing like any type of sorcery. Like,
Yeah,
no, you know what I mean?
yeah. Because when I was looking at like the first couple pages, like she was like almost like how's this possible?
Exactly. How do you guys like get on day to day, right?
Yeah, like if that's not even available, like where did it all go
Right.
if it
Yeah.
used to be here? But
Yes.
then when we encounter like pretty much okay, what pretty much happened to Jensen Strider, and if it just to get into his character, who is like I'm going to say the main antagonist for now,
Right.
just for now.
That's yes.
Um, it's almost like the blade has haunted both of them, both who have had to use it. So of course, there's in this particular fight scene between Ja and Jensen,
Yeah.
uh, both encountering the blade at certain points. And with there was one point where Ja basically like tosses the blade in his direction in order for him to catch him to throw him off so he could actually like hit him with a blow. But what he
Right.
didn't realize was that the blade made Jensen more powerful.
Right.
So
He's actually like siphoning this magic, like
right.
siphoning this power. Yeah.
So is the thing is like was Jensen like involved in some of these people that were like that were basically purveyors of this blade in the past. He knows about it. He wants it, and
Mm,
yet Ja has it.
yeah. He I will say, Jensen Strider, he was like he's a military guy. He's a special forces guy who's like worked his way up.
Mhm.
And up until like he was under Director Gunn. And he's not like I'll say I haven't I haven't really decided if he has like any special lineage, but like he was just the guy who was chosen to like the
That's
government, the US,
yeah.
right, the U.S. government came into possession of the blade like back in like the 60s, and they've been, they were doing their thing on it, like doing their experiments, and that's how they developed the kind of the antidote to the curse, right?
Mhm.
And like eventually Jensen, he was just such a standout guy that they selected him to wield the blade. And he was like, I know the risks. I know what it is. I trust, Uncle Sam. They're gonna get me good with the cure. So let's do
Yep.
it. He reacted really well to it. Like the curse kind of fucked him up, but he also drew a lot of power from it. And now he has a new form. So
Yeah.
yeah, his character arc is also gonna be really interesting. Because he can't go back to the military now. Like he killed a lot of people. So like
Hmm.
where he goes from here is going to be kind of cool. And it's going to be interesting. It's also going to tie into like the kind of climactic battle of, I guess, what would be Arc 2. So I don't know. I'm
Gotcha.
really trying not to give a lot of spoilers,
No, no,
but
I understand.
yeah.
Now amongst this, like I guess, origin,
Hmm?
how did the blade transform Jensen, but it hasn't done the same effect to Ja?
It's really due to Jah's powers.
Okay.
It's the thing that is the thing that kind of fused with Jah's body and soul and whatever, like that uh was it like that massive power, that thing that's become one with him. It's like it kind of blocks out like any like it won't affect him. He just is
Gotcha.
he's too insulated, I guess, by his power.
Mm, okay. Now, as far as what exactly happened from issue one to issue two, of course, his family gets taken hostage by the US government, by the military, and they're
Right.
being like basically stored away in a bunker in Area 51. Um, and necessarily, I mean, Ja, of course, is coming to the rescue, and they understand that with his power set, he's inevitably just going to show up,
Yes.
but it's also a way to draw in Jensen because the government knew that he was coming as well. So
Right.
is this like an opportunity for the government to capture Jensen?
Um, I think so. The thing is, Ja would, if without the sword, Ja actually would not have been able to find his family because they had his family at like a whole different facility. It's actually, sorry to correct you, it's Raven Rock that they were
Okay.
family at, but they wanted Ja to come to Area 51 so they can kind of just like onboard him and get him under their control, right?
Right.
Um, Ja came under possession of the sword like I guess it wasn't a freak accident because they really shouldn't have expected Jensen Strider to be able to like take down Ja with the sword. But I mean, that was like that's so like hey, here's our magical sword. This is the most powerful thing we have. Like we gotta throw it at him.
Hmm.
Um, but Ja comes into possession of it, and now he can like locate his family. But like I guess it kind of just works out in the government's favor, in Agent Gunn's favor. That Ja's able to like come to him and link up with his family, and now he can be like, all right, look, we have a problem because this thing is following you. Like
Right.
you take care of that, right? Like how could Josh say no to that once he has his family? Like
It's true. And even the fact that he found him and
right,
then inevitably the military comes up with a way to try and negotiate a price for him to take down Jensen. And
right,
you even jump in your comedy bag because he comes up with the lowballest number yearly in
right,
order to save the earth. I was like, then you got to realize, yo, he's a kid.
right.
Because he's
Still
like, oh,
freshman college mentality, right? Like
yeah,
I'll come back.
$176,000 a year. That's an easy number.
I'd be very happy with that.
But then they come to realize, we're like, all right, cool. I could just like say any number. I could throw any number out there. A
you are
billion.
you're like
Sure.
a you are like on top of like the defense contractors. You really
Yeah.
could, you know what I mean? So
Blank
yeah,
check.
yes, exactly. Yes.
Word. Now, As far as the we talked about like in the beginning about the origin for the character.
Mhm.
For character development and how you wanted to design Ja. How
Yes.
much of Trunks did you put into Ja?
How much? Oh God, how much of Trunks? Uh, Not a lot, honestly. I've seen that's such a good like that's yo, you really caught that. Somebody pointed that out to me last year at like BlurredCon. They're like, he looks kind of like Trunks, and I'm like, he kind of like yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I guess if any of Trunks's design came through, it was like a subconscious thing
Hmm.
because it really might have been. The story of Ja's like outfit is honestly, I was out at this bar like a year before Super Dangerous came out, and I saw a dude walk in with a jacket, and it was like wow, the idea was kind of Super Dangerous was like a shell of an idea then, and I was everything was kind of coming together. I saw a dude walk in with a jacket that was like very similar to Ja's, and like the orange was it was like that reflective like night shit. I forget what it's called, but
Uh-huh.
it was just really dope. And I was like, yo, that's the jacket. Like that's you know what I mean? And yeah, it just happened by chance. But at the same time, like I don't know. I can't write off that, you know, because DBZ, like especially like in grade school, coming home from school, like watching DBZ coming up on that and that being my introduction to anime as a whole, like medium, like I can't write off that there might have been like some subconscious, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, because when Zila has that opportunity of telling them to be like, "Hey,
yeah,
don't throw the blade at him anymore. If you keep it close to your back, it'll stay
right.
there."
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then when he actually like does it and
Where's
starts
the
to
left at?
challenge Jensen, I'm like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Can't deny it. Yeah.
word.
You're right.
Yep. Also another take on Ja because we always talk about his youth and his being super naive, but also you could tell that amongst his parents, he
Yeah.
still listens to him, regardless of his power set. You know,
Yes.
like however powerful that he is, he still listens to his dad. His dad, god damn, like
Yeah. Pissed. Like, bro, you
yeah,
got me pulled out of work. Like, what the, like, what, excuse me? Like, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's still like, all right, my bad.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. He's still, I mean, he's still a 19-year-old kid at the end of the day. So,
Yep. Now, also, I mean, of course, at the end of issue 2, you come to find out that amongst the destruction that is currently happening to Earth through his battle with Jensen, that even his family are now terrified
right.
as to basically what powers that he has. Like they kind of course knew about it in issue 1. His little sister and everything found out about it. His brother found out about it, and then it's like seeing it firsthand. It's like shit.
Traumatizing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this dude can burst through a mountain and he's like totally okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's like, yo, we kind of like, I don't know if we want to be around that. And the thing is, it's almost, I guess, for the most part, that's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, as far as like, what is humanity's fear and power? And
Yeah.
especially like when you see it firsthand, even
Exactly.
from people that are the closest to you, it's like, I don't even want to mess with that.
It's still a lot. Exactly. And especially like for the last 6 months, even if the powers are new to him, like he's been around the world, he's been in like disaster situations, helping people out and stuff. So he may be like desensitized to seeing, somebody getting split in half, but like he's still like too young to kind of, or he's just not thinking about like, yo, you got kids here, like you got your family here, like you
Yeah.
need, you know what I mean? Like he's still not on point as a hero like that yet. And that second of hesitation you see costs him his family basically in issue number 2.
Now, inevitably, like when you start to continue this arc and with the family out of the way and for a moment, and it's like I'm sure there's going to be an opportunity where he feels like he wants to bring them back into the fold. Like, you look, is I can't even understand this power. I don't expect you guys to, but at least let's try to like work on this together because I don't want to keep you guys in harm's way. But
Right.
then on the outside of that, now he's subcontracted by the government.
Yeah.
So what and Jensen's gone. So it's like what inevitably like happens outside of there.
Um, it's in terms of his family's relationship, I haven't decided which direction that's gonna go in. As far as like him and like his adventures, all right, fuck, I'll just say, this series is gonna, so like he's gonna keep going, like his shit's gonna keep going, like, getting more and more fantastical. Like he's gonna go to some like really fantastical places, but I'm also gonna kind of split the narrative between especially past issue number 5. Really, it's starting in issue number 4, and then after issue number 5, the narrative is gonna start being split between and what he's doing, in other realms of shit, and then just like the ground level heroes in this, on the earth in the Super Dangerverse.
Got you.
And we're gonna kind of alternate between them, and then like I said, like at the end of arc 2, there's gonna be a big event where everything converges, and then it's gonna do that whole thing.
Dope. Now who the creative team that helped you put this together? You
Yeah.
want if I could get you to shout them out.
Yeah. First of all, Lord Katodwe, number one, he's on the lines and colors for these issues.
Where's he
We're
from?
working on Ghana.
He's from Ghana. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to him. Katodwe is the GOAT. Like I saw him, dude. I saw his visuals. He has like a heavy manga background, so I saw his panels. I was
You
like,
can
yo,
see that.
yeah, right. And we're speaking of which, we're actually working on a manga short together. We're wrapping one up right now. It should be out, I don't know, later in the year. But it's called Doppelganger, so I don't know. Be on the lookout for that one.
But
But yeah, I saw his panels. I was like, we gotta work on something. I commissioned him for a project that was supposed to be under Breakthrough Comics, but that got shelved. But his work on that project was so dope. Like that cover he did was insane. I was like, yo, we gotta work on something. Oh, yo, you're kind of jogging my memory. And then I think as a result of that, um, I think that's kind of the reason why I came up with Super Dangerous, to be honest. Like
gotcha.
I was like, yeah, we got to work on something, man. So yeah, we came up with Super Dangerous. This was supposed to be like a 3 issue mini like series, but it just, the more I worked on it, the bigger it got, and now it's up to 20 plus
Hmm.
issues planned. So that's Katodwe. His line art was crazy on these issues. His coloring was insane as well. So I mean, yeah, shout out to him. Sarahi Okato is my letterer. I think standardized like throughout all my books, I use Sarahi. Like any
Okay.
project that I come out with, she's gonna be on the lettering and the title as well. So yeah, that's the creative team.
Got you. Now what made you come up with the title Super Dangerous?
Uh, I don't even know. I think I'm bad at titles, but I was just brainstorming. It just felt right. It's really, yeah. I don't. I really have no idea what compelled me to name it Super Dangerous.
Mhm.
But once I found it, I just really felt like it fit, and especially like concerning Ja and like his arc throughout this series. I think it's a really apt name. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
because the way I looked at it when you first sent it to me, I was like, it's almost like an oxymoron, that title. Like you
Yeah.
don't expect super and dangerous to actually go together. Like
Right.
one is more heroic, the other one's more villainous.
Yeah.
So I was like looking at it, I'm like,
That's a great point.
so yeah, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, wait, I'm like people, and then you come to find out like through the storyline, okay, he is dangerous.
Right.
He's viewed as such, even though he's trying to do good things.
Damn.
So it's like throughout the book, it kind of fits.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, shit, we went different ways, but we got like, yeah, and that's such a great point. Like, I never paid attention to the juxtaposition. Yeah, like super and dangerous,
Hmm.
like the two. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yep.
Good, good.
Now,
Yeah,
outside of this, I mean, of course, this is your first crack at it. Of course, with Breakthrough and Resolve,
mhm.
the other titles that you've done in the past. Whether now, if I'm saying it correctly, what Project Angel,
Yes, yeah,
Offspring,
yes,
The Toys Who Walk.
yes.
Okay,
Those are
so all these titles, of course, you've done through Breakthrough and Resolve, putting all this together. Now, all these titles, when you go onto the website, they're free to see your work in the past, right?
So let me start with differentiating real quick because I know it can be really confusing, and I haven't done a good job at like establishing like what is breakthrough and what is resolve.
Okay.
Um, so Project Angel and Offspring, those are under Breakthrough Comics, right?
Yep.
Project Angel is my first like comic I ever made, and like it's supposed to like Breakthrough Comics is a shared universe, so like Project Angel and Offspring are interconnected, and they would have crossed over down the line, yada yada.
Hmm.
Um, and Project Angel, like I said, was kind of supposed to open that up. Resolve Comics is like my image, where like every series, like Super Dangerous and the Toys Who Walk, those are independent universes of each other. Like
Gotcha.
they're, you know what I mean? Unless I, specifically say that it's like a spin-off of another series, you can, assume that everything's in their own universe.
Got
Um, Damn, I forgot what the question was. What was the question?
No, no, I was basically like asking you about the other projects that you've done. If people wanted to see your work in the past, they're free, available on the website.
Yes. So you can read the first issue of Project Angel, as well as Offspring on my website for free. And I believe you can read Offspring number 2 as well on Global Comics for free.
Okay.
Toys Who Walk is, I believe you need like your Global Comics membership.
Hmm.
Um, I think you need like your Global Comics membership to read issue number 2. I don't think I've set that as free of Toys Who Walk, and yeah, Toys Who Walk number 1 and 2. You can buy digital and physical copies as well on my website. So yeah, everything is available for purchase, and you can read Project Angel and Offspring for free.
Got you. Now, as far as Super Dangerous, how long is this arc?
First arc is going to be about 5 issues.
5 issues.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
So as far as continuing on, I'm going to say that most of that's already written.
it is. Yeah, it is.
Got
Issue
you.
number 3, we're going to actually start production on probably between next month and April. After, I mean, Katoto and I were wrapping up this manga short, but once we're done with that, we're gonna get on issue number 3. Issue number 4 is like the script is like halfway done, so
Yeah.
finishing that up, and then we'll just keep going.
So you're basically trying to release both campaigns because you're already doing this one for issue 2. You're trying to release issue 3 also at the end of this year.
I don't know if it's gonna be at the end of this year.
Ah, okay.
Just because and this is going to be an issue that I have to address at some point, but having one person draw an entire book and color it is like it's really time consuming.
Oh
So
yeah.
we
No.
are kind of limited right now to like pretty much one issue a year.
Mhm.
um so I don't know, I may like kind of try to build out the team, see if we can up production quality if or production speed if things pick up, but yeah, that's what you
That's
can.
what's up, man. Now currently you got what is it? You already hit your goal,
Yes.
and you got about like what 20 days left in the campaign.
We do, we do. We started out a little bit slow, but we were able to hit. We set a low goal of 500, so we hit that. We're working our way to 1,000 beyond. So right now, I guess on a backer basis, we're trying to hit 25 backers as soon as we can, and then 25, 30, 35, as many as we can get.
And I usually ask everybody this: what's been the reception so far as Super Dangerous from people that have read it in the past, whether it's been issue 1 or if you've let anybody get a sneak peek of issue 2.
Sure. I mean, I've never, not I've never. Most people who read Super Dangerous love it. It's overwhelmingly positive, I would say. The
Good.
reception is overwhelmingly positive.
All right. So am I suspecting that you're going to be taking this to the con scene pretty soon? I know Blurred Con is coming up
Absolutely.
in a few weeks.
Absolutely. We'll be at Blurred Con. We were actually just at Stellar Con yesterday. Moved a bunch of, super dangerouses, super dangerous. But yeah, we'll be at Blurred Con. We'll be at Awesome Con in April. And I gotta get on this, but I'm gonna do my best to make sure we're at Baltimore Comic Con as well as like Otakon.
That's what's
Uh,
happening.
yeah, a bunch of pop-ups in the Baltimore, metro area as
Yeah, I'm
well.
about to say, yeah, you definitely pretty much got them all like within like a half hour, 45-minute drive.
Right, right.
Word. All right. Well, Adam, I appreciate you doing this with me, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this. Thank you for
Word.
having me, James.
Absolutely. So for everybody here at the Facts Project, uh, go out and get Super Dangerous issues 1 and 2 right now on Kickstarter, live right now for the next 3 weeks. So you definitely got time to pick that up. For everybody here at the Facts Project, Adam Downing, Resolve Comics, go out and get Super Dangerous right now, and we will see you guys next time.